and we are here today with Martin Shervington. And it's a Friday, and I'd love to introduce Martin. Debbie is on quiet and will be coming into our conversation bit by bit. But my name is Cynthia Seymour, and I'd like to introduce Martin Shervington. If you're not on the G Plus community yet, he is an absolute superstar on G Plus and a great trainer, and I'd love to just say hello to you. Martin, where are you coming to us from?
Thank you very much, Cynthia. I'm in Wales and it's sunny today. Yeah. Every time I'm on a hangout, I've got to tell people the weather's like, because most of the time it's not. I've been there. I've got a bit of sun lunchtime.
So it's springy in Wales right now.
You know, it's almost summer, because I don't think we're going to get any summer after this month, because this is usually what happens these last few years. So yeah, it's lovely. You know,
very nice.
Not quite Florida. I mean, it's only sort of 16, 17 degrees, but I mean it's all right. Not complaining.
And Canada's just now getting her springtime too, right, Debbie?
You can't mute Debbie and then have her unmute just to answer a question about Canada, because she had an echo, didn't she? So
yes,
I have an echo. So what else is new on the audio issue? But yeah, it's actually raining in Alberta. So
huh.
I think there's a song "Raining in Alberta." No, I don't know.
Your audio seems better now. So anyway, Martin, we've had a lot of changes this week with G Plus, and I'd love just to you've been talking about it a lot, and I want to just hear your synopsis and thoughts on that.
I think it's been 16 days now, Cynthia.
Right.
Actually, since the event, since the little mini earthquake at I/O. And this is what happens: is something changes. And for the period of time, it's like, what happened? Everything. Where's my stuff? Where's the hangouts? Where's the photos? And it's crazy for a few days, and then you get used to it.
Right.
And I think that I had an advantage because I'd done all the videos. I was then forced to learning everything again for the new videos. Do you like what I said? It's an advantage. We had myself and Ronnie Binster probably had the most moments of we've got stuff to do, we've got a lot of work to do, but what it meant is that there are some real big improvements, I think, but it doesn't necessarily feel like that when you go through a change.
Right.
And one of the starting point, I can give some tips on what to do to help with tidying up hangouts and circles and what have you, but I've almost forgotten what it was like before now, because I'm so used to, because I'm doing the new videos, so I'm so used to this new platform and the new look and feel, and it's great. But a couple of things I was going to say to people. One of the things is make sure you're using it on full screen. If you're using Chrome, whatever your browser, don't crunch the browser up at all, because it's not really designed for that. And I found that I was doing that, and very often when I had a Hangout, I would be overlaying another window on top of it, so I just see the film strip at the bottom and not the big picture, as if I was working in the Hangout. And if you do that, when you get notifications, they're going to disappear, and basically it's not going to be quite so functional. So that's the first thing, is make sure you're using it on the full screen, and you find that it's easier. I mean, you don't have to, but you'll find it's easier. But the next thing, one of the things that's been brought in is, with photos, is the Auto Awesome side.
Yes.
5 different functions, and you've got HDR, you've got Smile, which will actually compose different photos together and find the best ones with the best smiles in it. You've got, and I had a lot of fun with this, panoramas, and the panoramic function called Pano, and that brings together a series of photos in a row and turns them into a panorama, and it's amazing. It really does work. And the next one, I can't remember what it does. Oh yeah, it's the GIF one. I can't remember the name of it. And that builds up, if you have at least 5 images, it builds up a sequence of those images and turns it into a GIF automatically. So there's a lot of fun with that. And there's a 5th one as well, but I can't remember what that one is. Oh, I think is it the enhance? I think maybe it's an auto enhance function. But those, it means that there's more things that you can do with photos.
Yeah, they do auto enhance.
I think that's the other. I think that's the other function of the 5 of Auto Awesome, and it just means that we can be more playful. So I spent the weekend playing with how to do these sequence images, and it's fun, you know. And I think it encourages more people to be uploading photos and to be engaging more around that. And once you've got it, I didn't engage with it until I think Monday, and I just went, this is cool. This is going to be a lot of fun. And with Google Glass and things coming as well, we're taking photos there and those being sequenced. It's good. It's going to be great. You don't get that on Facebook. Yeah.
I'll
so
still be in Facebook, Martin.
I know, but I do see you there. I dart in and dart out again. It's like, quick. Anyway.
Yeah, it's still one of my main homes.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like that too.
I do see you there.
I like both platforms, but so Martin, sometimes bringing people over to the Google Plus platform, how would you? I know a lot of people will describe the two. They'll be in Facebook. I'm trying to get some of my Facebook followers into Google Plus, but instead of comparing the two products, because I think it's comparing apples to oranges, how would you try to get them to come over?
I wouldn't. And I always say this when people ask me, how do I get... I wouldn't bother. Let them be. Just let them have a nice time. If they like Facebook, let them enjoy Facebook. This is a different thing. And in a way, it's not, unless it's your job, unless you're going to go, I'm going to get paid 50 cents per conversion over to, well, we don't, so we just be passionate, enjoy it yourself. And if people come because they go, oh, this is interesting, then great. But I think the conversion thing is just not worth the effort. And when people realize that Google Plus, as this social layer that goes across Google's products and services, is not going away. And I had a friend yesterday that said, oh yeah, you've been talking about this now for the last 14 months to me, and I think that you might be right. I think that this might actually take off. And I'm just giggling, thinking, when you work out how integrated everything is, it's amazing. But it's not for me to say, yeah, come on, because he doesn't have a purpose. There's no reason to do it. But I'll come back to some of the changes. But one thing, Debbie, is what I've been finding. I have a lot of traffic that comes to my website, and I have a lot of inquiries, and people come through, and they want support, and it's coaching and training and consultancy around Google+. And sometimes I think the emailing me isn't the best way of me connecting with people, because it's very private, and it's got a massive time delay. To me, it's like I send the stuff. Do they come back? Don't they come back? I don't know if they're active. I don't know if they're on holiday. It's a very old school way of doing it. So one of the things that I've done is set up a community, and I launched it yesterday, and it's called Plus Your Business. And that's my intention is to have people have a soft landing, or enable people to have a soft landing into Google Plus, as well as for people that are here already. And I've got a great team of people.
We're getting a little bit of a delay. You might need to repeat yourself.
I don't know. You sounded all choppy then. We may or may not. I don't know. We can't tell who's got the delay. So the key bit, Plus Your Business, a place for businesses to come, get some advice, get some support, understand what Google Plus is about, understand how to use it, understand all of the different aspects, and know that there's a group of people who are adept at doing it. And those are the people that I've gone to, people like Ronnie Binzer for YouTube, for SEO, Joshua Berg, we've done interviews with him, Jim Banks for Google AdWords, and we've got a big team starting to come now who want to help. And I think that's the difference, Debbie, is that if we say to people, look, there's somewhere you can come and we can help you. If you're a business and you want to get involved in this, it's different to saying, oh, just arrive and you're going to be all right and watch these videos. And it's knowing that the support is there. And there's training, coaching, support, there's consultancy, there's going to be paid service, because that's what we do for a living.
That's true.
But the ethos is exactly the same, to help everybody that we can. And if you want more support, like tactical support and strategic direction, then there's paid consultancy and what have you. So that's been the plan, and we've got 600 members as of today, and it launched yesterday.
Wow.
So the intention is to grow that, and my role is to support people in the community to make it work, really.
Very good.
That's it. But I want to come back. I know I'm going to speak.
That's actually really.
I want to
go
talk
ahead.
about Hangouts, because I know we were saying about changes, and Debbie then asked me a question for the site. It's really important. Can I just run through the changes on the Hangouts, because I think that people are still a little bit swimming with what to do and how to do it. Yeah. So let me just give a couple of tips.
Definitely.
So the Hangouts launched on 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago, and we'd already been using this thing that we're looking at now, which is a video call, and the video call aspect of a Hangout. So a lot of people, this is a bit odd. We now got this thing, which is now a text thing, which was a bit like GChat and what's going on. So if I just give the quick version, a Hangout now is the whole function of a conversation, of the ability for people to have a conversation in either in one-to-one or in groups. And if you start a Hangout using the little speech mark, little green speech mark, if you click that and then you begin the Hangout, if you invite an individual, you can still have that private conversation with them, and you can then choose to have a video call from there. And there's another way of doing video calls, which I'll come on to, but you can still do that, and that will take you into a Google Plus video call, which is what we used to call the Hangouts. So we've still got that there. But the big difference is that it's breaking down barriers, really, to how many people can get together and have conversations. So the alternative to a one-to-one is not a one-to-one, it's a group. And the group could be 3 to, it looks like 99 people is where it maxes out. So if you've got circles that less than 99 people, you can invite a circle, or you can create a circle, which I'll come on to. And this means that you have a group conversation, and you can see where people appear and they disappear, and you can put little funny icons, you can do all of this sort of thing within that text-based chat. But you can then start a video call by clicking on the little icon, the little green, little shaped icon that looks like a video. If you click, or camera, if you click on that, it then opens up the Hangout and invites everybody from within that text-based chat aspect of the Hangout. So these are the two things that people to get their head past. But one of the big things is in my view, is wanting to manage two aspects. The first one is who can invite you, because a lot of people are getting a lot of invites and they're going, oh, it's driving me nuts. And it's like, okay, click on the upper right. There's a tiny little drop-down arrow. If you click on that and come down the menu bar, you can tell I've done the videos because I can remember it. If I come down the menu bar and I go to customize new Hangouts, or customize new Hangout request. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to have to do the videos again because I've forgotten what the wording is. Let me have a quick look. It says customize new requests. Right, customize new requests. If you go there and you click that, it will open up a box in your settings. And it says can send invite or to hang out with you. It's only 2 settings. If they're allowed to send you an invite and you have that through all of your circles, you're going to get a lot more invites. If they're only allowed to hang out with you, that's almost a lower level setting. So if you want less, or you want to decide specifically, then you change the circles to hang out only, and then you choose the ones that you want for the ability to send you invite to send request. And the last bit on that is that if you set up a circle specifically for your Hangouts and the people that you want, actually, or a few circles, and you narrow it down, you know then who's inviting you. And that's what I did really early on. I did that with my GChat, and it worked well. You don't feel you're getting bombarded by invites.
Yeah, you
However, I still got a few hundred people that to invite me, so you still got that going on. It just means in the early days we're able to contain it a little bit because it was, I know for a lot of people, a bit out of hand. So that's the first thing. The next thing is that you can snooze notifications. So like now, I've gone into the settings and I've done a global snooze notifications. So this is all of the Hangouts. I've gone into the drop down and I've chosen for the next hour not to have any notifications come through. So that means on all of the Hangouts I have open that you've got a little bit of peace and quiet from it. Now you can change that back, then you just turn it back on again. But you can do that with any single Hangout. So if you don't want notifications from a particular Hangout, you open up the Hangout and then you go to the cog in that Hangout, and then you just uncheck the box that says receive notifications. And then again, you've got it in your control. I think once people get used to, I can tailor who can get in touch, how often I receive messages, who I hang out with on video call, who I'm in with chat, it's straightforward. In fact, it's awesome. But it wasn't what we got used to. And that's always, when these little mini earthquakes happen, you go, oh, they changed stuff again.
Right.
But Martin, what about the aspect that if you mute some of those invites, even if you don't think some of them you don't want, but there are some invites that you probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise, where you've met some very cool people on.
Absolutely, and that's the bit why I said there's a bit of a caveat. But I've still got but I've got in my circles 4,700 people in my circles.
Yeah.
You know, so I was getting a lot of invites for a while, and I was thinking, this is probably too much. So I have to find a way of balance. But you're right. What's really interesting for me, Debbie, and something on this is I've connected with people I hadn't seen for a while because of the new Hangouts. And I'd been included in the circle and I've popped in, and it's eased movement between the rooms, and it changes the feel. It changes what we do. So, I mean, in that way, it's only if people are finding it a little too much that they want to tailor it down a bit. Yes.
That's great.
There we go. But there's another thing as well. On the post box, just the same in terms of starting the Hangouts, well, you know, if you go to your home screen, I always say screen and stream at the same time. If you go there and you've got the box, as soon as you've got it on your profile, there's a little icon before you click in it, which is the Hangout icon. And this will start a video call that you can then invite people to, as you would have done with old sort of style Hangouts. You don't have to go to the Hangout button to start a video call. You can actually just do that. Little box is really powerful now. You can start the events there. You can send your link. You can include videos and so on. But being able to do the video call straight from it means.
So
We're back.
We're back.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened at all.
We've got a little echo going on.
So Martin, can you imagine where the future of the Google Plus and the Hangouts are going to take us, or is that too soon yet?
I think it's about bringing people together in new ways. I think it's about connecting individuals, and this is I pulled out some of the language over the last Google events and been listening very carefully, and it's about connecting people, and it's not about connecting individuals. It's about people, and people are groups as well. So I think that in part, I think some of the changes would indicate that there's a younger age group going to be attracted, because if you look at the icons and how much play people can have, they're going to be bringing in a younger age group. But also, I think that there's a great opportunity for people to find each other and to find their tribe and to find their interests. So, for instance, going back to having launched Plus Your Business yesterday as the community, straight away I set up a little circle for the people who are really involved, and we can have conversations when we never could have done that. We would never have done it on a post. Whereas now we can see who's reading the post and who's writing it. I mean, this is pretty cool. And that means that new technology creates new behaviors, new opportunities, new challenges. But once you start to see that this is not going away, that we are becoming a global community that's connected, and we're on this particular platform more than, certainly for myself, more than any other, and utilizing it to this extent, more than any other, then I feel that the opportunity is going to be for just greater connectivity, and with that you increase the depth that we can increase the depth of relationship, and how people utilize it and the applications that they have are going to come down to how they want to, what the outcomes are, what the community will support, and then utilizing the system. These are systems, and then we have the cultures that emerge out of people's behaviors and people's attitudes whilst utilizing that particular technological system. So I think that we don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know what Google's got in store, but I can see it's only going to get more ways for us to connect, not less. And I have a crazy vision of the future, in a very, very positive crazy vision, and I can see how some of the research being done is going to connect us in quite profound ways. But we're a way off that yet.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's so global. Even in this hangout, you're in Wales, I'm in Canada, and Cynthia is in the United States, and Cynthia and I couldn't be further away. We're probably about, I don't know, 7,000 miles away from each
Yeah.
other at least.
You're probably closer to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Diagonally opposed to one another.
Yeah. So what about
Might
the
even be closer
international
to you,
aspect?
Martin.
I'm sorry, Cynthia.
So I miss
What
that.
about the international aspect? Where is it kind of spread evenly across the globe, or is Google Plus more in Europe and more on your side of the globe than in the North American side of the globe? Where does the concentration of people seem to be so far?
Oh, I'm basing it on circlecount.com, which isn't Google. So it's just, it's just looking at that site. It's North America, Europe, but somebody showed me a map recently that there is an increasing amount of activity in Southeast Asia, India, so those pockets. And we know that I think it's growing. I think things are getting busier. I think that the platform is beautiful. And I think it's more beautiful than it was before. And I think that it's a bit like Pinterest. We look at Pinterest and go, do you know what, the beautiful images, and that's lovely, and it's attractive, and I like to go there. And you look at Google Plus now, you look at what they've done with the stream. I shared an infographic earlier from Dennis LaBelle, and I shared it into the community, and it appears on my profile, and it's like this long. It's huge. It's amazing. You didn't have that. What happened with infographics before is they would sit as a small aspect, the same as they do most places. You just have that, and then you click in, and it expands up. Or
Right.
Now, what they've done is display the content in the best way, and it means you don't have to fiddle-faddle around. You've got the information that you want, and you can then make a decision. Do you plus one, comment, share, engage with it in whatever way, and that becomes more powerful. And I think that's going to appeal when people go, oh, and the bit, the larger images within the stream that go the width ways. And when you see them, they're like, whoa, that's huge.
How do you make those happen? Is that kind of like the hot list, and it's sort of up to Google, or what's the?
Yes. Yeah. I asked. I got an official response on it. And it's down to I can't remember I'll give the unofficial response, but this was the tone. Is that yes, it is down to whatever it is going to be most appropriate for the individual based upon their preferences, and also I don't know if they said this, but somebody suggested the higher quality images, which it makes sense. If you've got a really good quality camera and that's taking a good pic, then that's more likely to be appearing than if you've got something which isn't really. Which is a bit sketchy. So because all of the details, the image details, are being looked at by Google as the system, it means that they're going to display the stuff that's better.
Got it.
But yeah,
Very
but you can't. You don't know what somebody else is seeing. Somebody might see the smaller image, and then another person might see the bigger one of exactly the same thing, based upon what they are, the connections and the relationship with you and what have you.
Huh. Wow, so it's relationship based as well.
I'm saying it. I'm giving those words.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, but everything is relationship based in that way. Is how you relate to the content. If you look at what's hot, what appears in your stream now from what's hot is based upon what you're more likely to relate to. Right.
Of course. Well, this is brilliant. We're nearing the end of our show, and we like to sort of give our audience a challenge of the week. And so I wanted to put that out there for you.
I haven't thought of anything. What kind of thing, Cynthia?
What would you challenge people to do this week to create more relationships and positive, like global connections online?
Okay, Hangouts. So challenge for the week: how many Hangouts and video calls can you do? Can you do one a day for 5 days? There we go. Specifics. Because what will happen, even if you're hanging out with 10, 15 people, and maybe inviting people that you don't necessarily know, and by it being text, the other thing is if you need to block somebody, you've got the ability to block them and so on. So you've got a lot of flexibility, you've got a lot of protection within it. But I'd say that if you reach out to people and engage with them using Hangouts, you start to connect. it's a different experience. And I think the text-based is a start. And in fact, I did a hangout the other day, and I know Moritz was there and Linda was there, and you came in, Cynthia, and I said, this is the best hangout ever. And the reason why is I spent time.
Really fun.
It's hilarious. But I actually gave
I
my...
was doing it from my phone.
But I could see you popping up, and then people are chatting. But I gave it my full attention. That's the other thing then, is do the hangouts and give it your full attention, as opposed to doing what I'm often doing, is juggling and having the hangout going at the same time. Whereas when you dedicate your attention to something, you feel it differently, and the hangouts is a different experience. It really is. It's certainly different to what it was before.
So basically, get into conversation with people.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say somebody's really new and they've never hung out before. What would you tell them? Because they're really stepping off of a ledge into a new possibility for them. So what would you suggest to them?
I'd suggest, again, know that they're on the internet, and know that the people there's some nice people there, and maybe there's less nice people there, and you don't know until you try. But in a way, when you jump into ones that other people have invited you to, and have a look. You could see that would be a safe way if people want to feel, instead of inviting people to the conversation, to the party, that they are the one that just jumps in. It's a bit like popping around to your neighbours. You're not sure if you like them or not. You go around and you have a cup of tea. You know, you can do that and you can leave again. Or coffee if you prefer that. But that would be a safe way, is if you have an invite, then give it a go. And pay it your attention and say hi. And know that there can be many of those conversations. You know, you don't have to dedicate to that one group for the period of time. And this is, I think, one of the great things that's happened with Hangouts, is that it does mean that we are having more interactions, which is why, Debbie, it's good that you pick me up on, you don't want to narrow it down too much, but at the same time, you don't want your notifications pinging every 2 seconds if you're working. So it's balance. But yeah, give it a go, and try your own if and when you feel ready.
So do you ever invite anybody and they don't show up?
But regularly, I think that happens. I think that you only, if you invite a circle of 9, or it doesn't have to be a circle, but you invite 99 people, then there's only a certain number of people who are online at the time or want to engage with you at the time. But that's great. You know, that's you've still got a group potentially that could turn up and flow in and flow out. So it's not like you're hosting the party and everybody has to be there from 9 o'clock at night through to 11. It's okay, you know. You can move people to jump in and out. You've got 2 Cynthias, as if one wasn't enough. Oh, and the other one's choppy now as well.
Yes, and it's about time that we are ending the broadcast.
We are. We're almost there with it.
So anyway, if Cynthia's there, I'll turn it over to her to end it.
We'll just carry on chatting, Debbie.
Oh, we'll just carry on chatting.
Due to some stormy weather down here.
I think it is.
So we will be back next Friday with Mitch Jackson, who is an absolute dynamo lawyer from Orange County. Uses technology to connect people and to get to.
You're very breaky-uppy. That's the new word for you, Cynthia. Very breaky-uppy today. We can talk again now, Debbie. We'll just chat.
Yes. Well, what I don't know if the audience can hear.
That's it. So we've got Mitch Jackson coming on the next show. He's a
lawyer from California.
And he's a great guy. I met him with Chris Brogan.
Super.
So that's going to be the next show. So thanks for watching. I don't know where we're going with this now. And it's Friday night here. And I've got videos to do tomorrow. That's going to be my next thing. So everything I'll be talking about, actually, a lot of videos. Check out Plus Your Business community. So you launched yesterday. That's great. And ask us all for some help and support there.
honor. So I'm on my way back. As soon as I close off here, I'm checking out, and then I'm going back to Edmonton. And
You got to get your. You got. I tell you what you got to do. So you got to get your lighting sorted out, and you got to get your internet connection sorted.